In 2019, the all-female team Invictus Esports set the record of the longest lose streak in professional League of Legends, 34 losses. This resulted in them being kicked out of the league, and 2 years later, the record was broken. And 1 year after that, it was broken again.
It's a new record, sir.
Outstanding.
Despite being paid substantial salaries to play a video game, just like you and I, sometimes pro players also struggle to win. Many times going entire seasons without ever seeing the victory screen. Today we learn about the worst esports teams with the most painful losing streaks.
And Naeun won his first game, Trevor! It actually happened!
But before we get into that, today's video is sponsored by Professor. The rank ladder just recently refreshed and you now have another chance to reach your ranked goals. You will get out of silver.
It says seriously and for real this time.
Professor is a companion app for League of Legends that equips you with the tools necessary to improve. The app automatically imports the best runes and builds for your champion upon selection. And then in-game, you have an overlay letting you know how your performance is going and where you may need to improve. As well as jungle timers on the map letting you know exactly when both jungle camps and inhibitors will respawn. Among a variety of other features like the enemy spell tracker. And this question comes up a lot, but yes, Professor is completely safe to use and it's used by over 9 million players. So if you're ready to start improving your future games, click the first link in the description and download Professor for free today. 34 defeats in the span of 6 months. A record thought to be impossible to break. But in 2022, a team competing in the official Japanese league decided that they wanted to make history. On February 11th, 2022, V3 Esports began a historic run of back-to-back defeats which would finally come to an end 6 months later on August 5th. And if this team sounds familiar to you, I actually mentioned them in a video almost a year ago when they were actively on a 35-match losing streak. They were 7 losses away from holding the record of the longest lose streak in all of professional esports, matching the insane 42 lose streak by the Shanghai Dragons in the Overwatch League. However, not long after posting that video, they finally won a game, ending their streak at 39, becoming the team with the biggest lose streak in Pro League of Legends, but they just barely missed out on an overall esports record.
This might be the day we witness where V3 finally break the curse.
While I was in the middle of making this video, I actually just assumed that the team went back to at least performing as an average team. Because once upon a time, this team was champions of their league, believe it or not. But I went to check on them, and that's not the case at all. This is all of the games they've played in 2023. There's a couple wins in there. Well, just 4. But in 2023, the Japanese league shifted from best of 1 matches to best of 3. So actually, as of making this video, V3 are once again going for a record-breaking lose streak as they are actively on a 28-match lose streak. Now, the LJL season is coming to an end soon, and I imagine the owners are going to blow up the team and start over, so there's likely a chance they'll be able to at least obtain 1 win in the coming season. However, if they don't manage to win within their next 15 matches, they will beat their own record and become the owners of the biggest lose streak in all of professional gaming. But okay, that was V3 Esports. Next, we talk about V5 Esports. This is pure coincidence. V5 is a major team in China which has nothing to do with V3 in Japan. And despite the fact that they lost all 16 of their matches in 2020, the V in their name stands for victory. But their story doesn't end there. The reason you likely never heard about them is because although they have these terrible seasons, they somehow always bounce back.
Never back down, never what?
Never give up!
That's right!
All the other teams are able to create these crazy records because they go without winning throughout multiple seasons. V5 on the other hand is just built differently. Take for example their 2020 spring season. They lost all 16 best of 3 matches while only ever winning 1 game within those matches. But after that, during the 2020 summer season, just a few months later, the team finished the season with 11 wins and 5 losses, being the 5th best team in the league. Now they did restructure almost the entire team, but it's still a crazy bounce back, though it wouldn't last long. They struggled in the 2021 spring season, and then once again in the summer split, they lost all 16 of their matches. Again. And then in 2022, they won 14 out of 16 games and were the best team in the regular season.
This makes no sense.
Since then, they've changed their name and they're still doing fine. But for history's sake, the team holds the record of both the second and first worst winning records in the LPL, being the only team to lose all 16 matches in one split. And they were so epic, they did it twice.
You know,
a record is still a record, you know,
Exactly.
like it's still, you own it, no one else does.
Okay, we now know what it looks like to be one of the worst esports teams. But what about the worst pro player independently? Now, that sounds a bit harsh, and truthfully, it would be difficult to determine. But when it comes to a unique, unfortunate lose streak, I have to tell you about Nahyun. In 2015, this player made their official esports debut on a team named Team Kung Fu, a lower division organization in China at the time. He unfortunately lost his first match. This would be the start of a 17-game lose streak with Team Kung Fu. However, lucky for him, after his 17th match, he was able to escape this terrible team and come to Origin in the LEC, a team that should surely be better than his last. Sadly, it was not.
Next Peke is just gonna be next. Unicorns alive. They grab the double. It's all gone wrong. No, he missed! That's bad for OG Nahyun.
Although he sometimes had good personal performances, it would take 14 straight games before he finally saw a victory with his new team.
Origin win their first game of the 2017 season.
And Nahyun won his first game, Trevor. It actually happened.
In total, Nahyun went almost an entire year without winning a single match as a professional player on 2 separate teams in 2 different countries. The streak spanned from May 30th, 2016 to March 4th, 2017. However, although the streak ended, the pain continued. From 2016 to 2017, he played a total of 51 games and only ever won 2. So if you've ever had a dreadful streak in solo queue, just know it could definitely be worse. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.